Hi, and welcome to this week's Ask Steve Schneider, where you, the Villages area, email your questions into us, and we answer them right here on this segment. Steve, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, Mark. Glad
Wonderful.
to be
I've
here.
got some great questions for us this week. My first one is from Brenda in the Villages, and she writes, Steve, I'm trying to figure out if we can retire. We are both in our early 60s, and we're wondering if $350,000 is enough to retire on today. We are not big spenders, and we're willing to make changes in our lifestyle if necessary. Thoughts?
Yeah, that's really a great question, Brenda. And believe it or not, every retiree has that question. Do I have enough money to retire? And that is our expertise, is giving you that answer. Not only can we give you the answer, which most of the time is yes, depending upon your situation, but we can tell exactly how much money you can expect to pull out of your portfolio for the rest of your life. So, like I said, great question and something that we can help her with, absolutely.
You know, as a follow-up, I think that a lot of pre-retirees are kind of hung up on a number.
Right.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, but it's about the strategy.
Right.
Because you could have someone, and I'll use Brenda's example here, of $350,000, and I'm just going to make up a number. The other person might have $650,000. But if you don't plan properly, in theory, the person with $350,000, their money could last longer, and in fact, distribute more income to them in retirement than the person with $650,000 who doesn't plan properly. Fair statement?
Absolutely a fair statement, and you're true that planning is the key to retirement, because you need a good plan that's going to show that your assets are going to last throughout all of retirement. And nowadays, especially with the investment options we have, quite often we can invest $350,000 and generate the same or more income that people traditionally would have needed a $600,000 portfolio to do. So yeah, it's definitely a plan, and we have the tools that can give you all that those answers.
My next question is from David in the Villages, and he writes, Hi, Steve. Our advisor years ago set up our portfolio with about half bonds, with the other half being in the market. We are set to pull out 4% per year. We are worried that this strategy, along with my wife's pension and our Social Security, may leave us short later in retirement. Are you familiar with this strategy, and is it a good one?
Yeah. No, that's what we used to call the old 6% rule that got reduced down to the 4% rule, and we're very familiar with it. And one of the reasons that we're here and provide so much value to our clients is because the short answer to your question is no, it's not a good strategy, especially in retirement, and it leaves you vulnerable to a lot of risks. And so, no, if you have that advisor telling you that, or sometimes we hear your age minus 100 rule, any of those older rules, you really should come in and look at some of the newer strategies that we use that can get you a lot more benefit and security in retirement.
You know, there may be a deeper issue here, Steve, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like they're going to be pulling out their retirement income from a fluctuating account or a market-based account. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, those accounts in the markets have volatility, and volatility is very dangerous in retirement. It's technically called sequence of returns, that you really have to be careful to take income out of an investment that fluctuates in value. And we focus on investments that don't have that fluctuation and that can give you a much steadier and quite often higher rate of withdrawal than that old rule. Yeah, you're right.
Wonderful. And my last question is from Mike in the Villages, and he says, Hi, Steve. My company is offering me a lump sum or a pension. I like the lump sum idea, but my wife wants me to take the pension. How can we know which one is better for us?
Right. Good question again. We get this question often. There's a lot of our clients who come who are faced with that decision. And we found that there is quite often not a good resource at the company especially to help you answer that question, and it's left to you. Where we can give you all of the different options and evaluate them and give you the plus and minuses for each one. And there really are some intricacies there that you need to be aware of. And there's no one rule that says it's better for the lump sum or better for the pension option. It really depends upon your situation and the current plan, and we can help you make that decision.
Steve, thanks so much. If you want more information about anything we spoke about here today, hey, give us a call in the office, or if you'd like your question answered on this segment, it's really easy. Just go to our website.